Are you ready to see today's project? And here it is. Whoops, I forgot to go grab part of my project. And yikes, part of my project was not even secured. Here we go. This is my cute little desktop Post-it note holder calendar. It is an easel, and you can store your Post-it notes in here. You have your annual calendar in here, which you can just flip off the pages as we run through the year. And then you have this stinky cute ice cream pen that coordinates with the sweet ice cream bundle that I am using. So there we go. What do you think? Here's my desktop calendar and notes center, and I'm going to share with you how to make it. So all of this would then stand on your desktop with your Post-it notes right inside. So let me share with you what I use, and then I'll share with you how to make it. All right, super cute, Debbie says, thank you. All right, the star of the project is that new bundle called Sweet Ice Cream. It's got these great sentiments, the sentiments we need all the time. Happy birthday and thank you. Also some sweet ones like treat yourself and you melt my heart. You're so cool. There's some little sub greetings with sprinkles on top and hope it's sweet. So thank you with sprinkles on top and happy birthday, hope it's sweet. Then we've got different kinds of ice creams going on here. We have the scoops, we have the bars, we have a cone, we have little sticks and sprinkles. And then there's the coordinating punch that will cut your ice cream cone and your ice cream scoop. So this little bundle, don't you love a punch bundle? One of my favorites because it's so quick and easy to make with a punch. So it's featuring the ice cream paper, and so cute. We've got different kinds of ice creams going on again. So we've got the flat cone. I don't even know what you call this kind of cone, but super cute. We have some watercolor paper, which is perfect for punching your ice cream scoops. We have the stacked ice cream scoops on the cone, more watercolor splotches, the ice cream bars, and then did you know all the paper has two sides, right? So that's what's fantastic about Stampin' Up. Sometimes it's a dilemma. Which side do we choose? So these are spots on Old Olive. We've got sprinkles, we've got diagonals, and we've got the waves. So a beautiful pack of paper, and guess what, guys? Mine pack is nearly gone. I have purchased a second pack, so I'm going to be digging into that soon. Let me talk about the products that I use for it that are non-Stampin' Up as well. So Sharon asked, did I get the ice cream pens on Amazon? Yes, I did, Sharon. I got them about 3 years ago. But the good news is I just recently checked the site and they still have them available. They come in a pack of about 6 and they're under $2. Whatever it is, the pens are under $2. The calendars I purchased through Tailored Expressions online, and every year I purchase my mini tear-off calendars from Tailored Expressions. They're under $1. Can't remember exactly what I pay, but each calendar comes out to under $1. So those two sources, Tailored Expressions for the calendars and those stinking cute ice cream pens off Amazon. I'm sure other places would have them as well, but Amazon is where I purchased mine, and they came out, as I said, under $2. The calendar's under $1. All right, so let's take it away, my friends. We are going to get started building that calendar, and I call it an easel calendar because it can stand up on its own. That over-the-top ice cream pen is a little bit weighty, but it will stand up. So here we go. I've got Bermuda Bay at 4 1/4 by 11. I have another piece of Bermuda Bay, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Yet another piece of Bermuda Bay, which is 4 1/4 by 3 inches. And another scrap, which is 3 3/4 by 3/4. So that's my cardstock, and I'll give you the scoring points in just a second. For my patterns, I picked the stripes and the ice cream cones, and I've got 4 inches by 3.5 and 4 inches by 1 3/4. So there are my 2 pattern papers that I'm going to be using. I also need a scrap of Whisper White that I'm going to be punching my sentiment on. So let's get started with the scoring and the trimming. Let's see. And I'm going to need my faithful paper trimmer and scoring tool. I'm using my retired one. I get along with it a little bit better than the new one. The new one is a great deal. It still has the scoring blade, the cutting blade, the extended arm, everything's on it, and it's a great price, only $25. All right, so my 4 1/4 by 11, I am going to score at 5.5. So 1 score only. Make sure you're using your scoring blade. I'm going to push that aside for just a second. I'm going to come in with my next, let's see, I'm going to go with my easel base. So this is the one that measures 4 3/4 by 3 inches. I'm going to put it on the short side, which is 3 inches, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And for me, let's see, sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle getting it right there. So you can take it on either side, on this 1/2 inch mark, or take it this way. And I have a little bit more success balancing it on the left than on the right. So at 1/2 inch. And then I need also 1.5, so I'm going to flip it now. So that was the 1/2 inch score. Then I'm going to push it up to 1.5. So right down the middle, essentially. And then I need it scored at 2.5. So 1/2, 1.5, 2.5. That's going to be the easel base. Now I'm going to score my pocket, and the pocket for the Post-it note pad measures 4 1/4 by 5.5. So on the short side, which is the 4 1/4, I'm going to score it also at 1/2 inch. And remember, I'm going to push mine to the right, score it at 1/2 inch. That's my mark right here. Scoring blade as well. Then I'm going to score it also on the other side at 1/2 inch. So that would be 3 3/4. So I can flip it or just push it over to 3 3/4. Whoops, this way. So again, I need it at the 1/2 inch mark. I think might be confusing you. I'll show you. So both sides, 1/2 inch score. That's essentially what it is. 1/2 inch on this side, flip it, and also at 1/2 inch on that side. Now I'm going to rotate it, and I'm on the long side. I'm going to place 2 score lines. I'm going to be at 2.5. So right there. And then at 3. So 2.5 and 3. By the way, I'm so happy that you were able to find me because, as I said, I had been shooting for noon, and I get some responses that noon is better for some people. And I did go on earlier and invite people to join me. So you want to make sure that you follow my page and turn on the notifications so I come up in your feed and you know when I'm going live, because sometimes I do have to change the time last minute. And I feel bad because I might actually have people that are penciling me in for certain times. So thanks so much for sticking with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and first build the easel. So I've got my 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5.5. I'm just going to go ahead and fold that down on the score line. And just a reminder, your score line goes out. The valley side should go on the outside when you're scoring. So now this essentially is just your basic card base, right, with the top fold. I'm going to bring in my easel base, which is the 4 1/4 by 3 inch cardstock, scored at 1/2, 1.5, and 2.5, and I'm going to fold it on those score lines, and I'm going to do a Z fold or fan fold. So I folded it on the mountain there, and then the small scores are going to be folded the opposite side. So I'll show you in just a second what it looks like. Okay, so essentially that's what we've got. So we've got the valley, mountain, valley fold. So on these smaller scores, that 1/2 inch mark, and I'm going to fold it down, that's where I'm going to place my tear and tape. So tear and tape is my go-to adhesive for box construction, and when I need more strength, I need a little bit more grab when I'm creating my boxes. So I'm just laying down a strip on that 1/2 inch fold. I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other fold line. So here we go. And of course you can just tear it because it's called tear and tape. All right, so next I'm going to bring in my card base. I've got my Easel foundation here. Hey, thank you for joining, Debbie. So nice to hear from you. This is Debbie Evoy from Canada, right, Debbie? I'm glad you could join. Happy New Year. All right, so I'm going to reveal my tear and tape on one of the scores, and the easiest thing for me is to unfold it. Yes, I thought so. Where it's cold. Okay, so now I'm going to bring up my card base, and look what I'm doing. I'm doing without telling you. So what I'm going to do is unfold this, bring the back of my front card base, and I'm going to put it right up to the score line on that 1/2 inch fold. And I'm just going to abut it there. And so here's what I've got so far. Here's where I adhered. Now I'm going to flip it over, just like I'm doing here, and I'm going, just for the sake of adhering ease, I'm going to fold it on that middle score line, and I'm going to reveal this adhesive here, and I'm going to reveal that tear and tape. Now I'm going to bring the back side of the back of the easel and adhere or butt it right to the score line. So look what we've got, right? And now I can push this back into position, and we've created that easel. And I'm going to go back with my bone folder and kind of make sure that I've burnished nice and crisp, as well as on the easel foundation. So we want nice crisp lines using that bone folder. British Columbia, that's what I thought, Debbie, and it has been. So here's one of the perks of being a demo that I talked about earlier. I met Debbie E. Oh my gosh, Debbie, was it like 2012 maybe? I'm not sure. It was many years ago in Salt Lake City. We were roomies together for one of Stampin' Up's conventions. It was one of the most memorable, one of the most fantastic conventions I've gotten to attend. And I got to hang with Debbie for 3 or 4 days. It was just the most incredible experience. Stampin' Up's conventions always are. Again, one of the perks of being a demo. So, and it's great to see that we have longtime demos that really stick with Stampin' Up. I know a lot of people buy the kit and take advantage of the great deal, but a lot of the demos stick around for many years. And Debbie and I are 2 examples. Okay, so now I've got my easel here. Now I'm going to bring in my pattern papers, and I'm going to go ahead and decorate this while I still have it flat. I'm going to be putting my stripes down with flat adhesive about 1/8 of an inch from the base, and I've got an 1/8 inch border on both sides, and then I'm going to abut the ice cream pattern paper right at the top. And for that, I'm going to try and do an easy adhesive. I'm going to use my Seal Plus because Plus and I get along together nicely. Seal and I do not play nicely together, but Plus and I do, so that's my favorite. Okay, again, about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom and 1/8 on both sides. All right, so now I'm going to abut my ice cream pattern right to the top. So this is a really cute gift as well, a very useful gift. And it comes out, you know, it's really budget minded. I said about $2, less than $2 for the pen, about $1 for the calendar, and then the little post-it notes. Now that's where you can run into expense, right? If you use genuine post-it notes, they're a little bit pricier, but you can also get some at the dollar store that don't have as many, but they still fit right into the pocket, which is what we're going to be making next. So here's my Bermuda Bay. It measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We scored it at 1/2 inch on both sides on the short side, and then at the 2 1/2 and 3 inch mark on the long side. I'm going to go ahead and take my bone folder and I'm going to fold on all the score lines. It's going to make my cutting easier and my adhesive placement easy. So this is just the pocket for the post-it notes. Now I'm going to make my little snips on those center score lines right up to the perpendicular score. Just going to make that little tab on both sides. And those little ice cream pens, they are so cute. You can have chocolate ice cream, like pink ice cream, a little bit brighter, like a melon mambo ice cream. There's a mango melody ice cream and a vanilla. So stinking cute. I'll try and show them to you in just a second. And I thought they went so nicely with this pattern. I'm going to put my tear and tape on the 1/2 inch tab and just on the two sides opposite. So just on two sides. Just a tiny amount. Push that up. There we go. So my commitment, then I'm going to stick with noon until I hear otherwise from more followers. And you know, the tricky thing is, I know most people catch the replay, but I know, like when I'm on Facebook, a lot of times I don't stop and leave a comment to let somebody know that I was watching, or just to let them know I popped by. And I think I've become a little more conscious of that since I've been on Facebook, because it's kind of nice to know who you're talking to and whether or not somebody likes a project or has a better idea. So I'm better at leaving comments these days. There we go. So I've got my adhesive on that 1/2 inch tab. That's going to be the inside flap. So all I'm going to do is fold that tiny tab in, bring that up perpendicular, and then I'm going to bring over the outside tab right over top. There we go. Just press down on that firmly, and then the same thing on the flip side. Bring in the small tab, fold in the tab that has the adhesive, and then bring in the top flap. And this will be the front of the box for the calendar that holds the post-it notes right inside. Now, before I attach this to the easel, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to add a little tab to hold that pen on the side. So this is the 3 3/4 by 3/4 scrap of Bermuda Bay. I'm taking my bone folder and just kind of curling it a little bit. I'm going to put a couple of strips of tear and tape right along the left-hand side. And this is what's going to hold that tab for the ice cream pen. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So now I'm going to flip it over on the same side and put a couple of strips of tear and tape. All right. And now next step is going to be, I'm going to take my Pick-a tool so I can peel off. I trimmed my nails so short, it's hard to peel things now. It's hard to pick things up with no nails. There we go. So this Pick-a tool comes in handy. So now I've got my adhesive revealed. I'm going to bring in that 3/4 of an inch strip and bring it over about 3/4 of an inch onto the box. I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the back. So again, revealing those little adhesive strips. It also helps if you burnish down that adhesive make sure it's really stuck on the box. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. So I've got like a little loop. That's where my pen's going to go. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add my calendar. And to secure the calendar, I'm just going to put 2 strips of tear and tape on each end of the calendar back. I really like the tear and tape much better than the old red tape that we used to have that I would constantly fight with. This one's really nice because all I do is tear, and much easier to trim and get along with. Sometimes too that red was really staticky. Okay, so I've got my tear and tape there. I just want to make sure I'm putting the calendar on right side up. There's our January 1, 2021 already. It's a great year. I'm thinking lots of positive thoughts for a beautiful, successful year. There we go. So now I've got my calendar there. Now I'm going to secure this onto my easel base with my favorite, liquid glue, and I'm just hoping it's not plugged up there because I've been doing a lot of gluing lately. I made about 60 swaps in the last 2 days. I've been busy. It's like a little assembly line worker making lots of swaps for new catalog project ideas. Okay, so I was generous with the glue. Now I'm going to go ahead and secure it to the base and to the far right of the easel base. I'm going to hold that down for just a little bit, and I'm going to take my bone folder. And look how cute. That's my special bone folder. Can you see my Stamperista sign logo on there? That was a gift for team members this past holiday. And I think I just enjoy using it, my bone folder, so much more now. That little logo makes me happy. All right, so I've got my calendar base here. I'm going to do a little bit of decorating. Here's where I'm going to bring in my Whisper White scrap, and I'm going to bring in 2 stamps from the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. I'm going to use the You're So Cool, and sorry, 1 stamp from the ice cream, or 2. Okay, so You're So Cool and the ice cream scoop, and I'm going to use the ice cream scoop punch as well. And I'm using 2 inks. I'm using the Bermuda Bay for my sentiment. And let's see, here we go. I'm going to stamp the sentiment first, then I can position my ice cream scoop right over that. And I'm going to bring in my ice cream scoop, and I am going to stamp off. I'm using Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to stamp off so it's not too dark. And then I'm going to stamp right over the You're So Cool. There we go. And now I'm going to bring in my punch. And here's a tip. You don't want to stamp too close to the edge when you do the ice cream scoop, because that little tiny scrap of paper, if it's too short, will get caught between the next blade for the ice cream cone. So I speak from experience. Usually when I give you a tip like that, it's because I had something go wrong for me. And I just want to warn you, you don't want your paper eaten up by the blades there. So I'm going to position that right in there. So easy. The cute little ice cream scoop. And then I'm going to pop that up on my easel with a dimensional. And I'm coming to the end of one of my little dimensional supply sheets. I'm going to pop that right in. So right around so, just kind of between the patterned paper and the striped paper. And voila, we are done. Here, I promised to show you the other ice cream. So I've got a chocolate ice cream pen. Stinking cute. I love it. Okay, I don't have my Post-it notes handy. My regular size one. You would just drop them right inside there. It stands up, and I promise you it will stand. There we go. You have your little calendar notes center with your Post-it notes inside and your little pen to write your notes. And you are all set. There's chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream. These are so cute. There's like a mango melody ice cream. There is a strawberry ice cream. And there's one more that's a little bit brighter. Looks more like a, I don't know what do you think that would be, that final one? It's not quite Poppy Parade. It's a little bit pinker. Anyway, I think you get 5 or 6 in the pack on Amazon. They are really fun and they're cute, and you can pop in your Post-it notes there. Thank you, Debbie. I think it's super cute too and very handy. I like to keep it nearby because I'm always having to write down tiny little notes. There's never a piece of paper and pen handy, so hopefully this'll help me out. Plus, you know, I'm always wondering, like, when you have time off or there's too many weekend days, it's like, what day of the month is it? What day of the week is this? So cute. That was the sweet ice cream. Let me show you a couple other projects that I made. These were projects that we created during our kickoff class this past week. There's a cute thank you with sprinkles on top. And notice I used the same paper. I used the stitch jars along with the confetti or sprinkles on the star. And then I did a 2-scoop ice cream cone. And I used the 2 sentiments. I also created the cute little Mickey and Minnie ice creams. Now this was an idea taken from the demonstrator website. It's not a complete case because I did alter it, but I just thought the idea of flipping that ice cream scoop and making it into Mickey and Minnie ears was absolutely adorable. So this one is the birthday, hope it's sweet, or happy birthday, hope it's sweet. Those are probably the 2 sentiments that I need the most, happy birthday cards and thank you cards. And here's a 3rd example, and you're gonna wonder, what? There's no ice cream on there. That's because I have used the same paper on this card, but this is a free celebration item. This is the Darling Donkeys. And trust me, you are going to want to get the Darling Donkeys celebration set. It is a $50 level gift. It includes 3 versions of the donkey. And again, this is a birthday card. So hee-haw, it's your birthday, using the same ice cream papers in the background. So there are 3 more examples using the sweet ice cream set. We do have a couple of options for our easel. I need to tack that down. So let's see if I can take care of that right now so I don't lose that. There we go. So 2 notes. There we go. 2 versions of the desktop calendar note center.